If you've seen those YouTubers flying business or first class flights using their credit card points, and you want to know how you yourself can book those same flights using credit card points, then this is going to be an exact tutorial on how to do so. Credit card points are what allow us to fly these extremely expensive business class flights for extremely cheap. And in today's video, we're going to be going over the step-by-step process on how I find these flights and how I book these flights as well. There's going to be 3 main steps that I take, and in the end of the video, we're going to be going over some examples so that you can follow along and book your own routes as well. Step 1, earning the points. Generally, business class flights on the low end go for 50,000 points, and on the high end, they go for 100,000 points. So we're gonna be needing a lot of these points to book these flights. The best and most effective way to get these points quickly for your next travel is gonna be by hitting those sign-up bonuses. If you're new to the credit card game, I totally recommend starting with Chase because Chase has the 524 rule. The 524 rule states that you can't have more than 5 open credit cards in the past 24 months, aka 2 years, or you'll be automatically rejected by Chase. So start with Chase and get all the credit cards that you need, and then you can move on to AMEX and Capital One because they're a little bit more lenient than Chase. If you're not new and you already have the Chase Sapphire Preferred and the Freedom Flex card, for example, then I would totally recommend getting some sign-up bonuses with AMEX because they have some really generous offers with their sign-up bonuses. Generally, my favorite cards from AMEX is going to be the AMEX Gold card and the AMEX Platinum card because 1, they have really high sign-up bonuses. I think with the Gold card, you could find the 100,000 offer, and with this Platinum card, you could find 175,000 offer that gives you 275,000 credit card points just for signing up for both of these cards. But just a 1 word of caution, make sure to get the Gold card first and then the Platinum card, because if you get the Platinum card first, you're no longer eligible to get the sign-up bonus for the Gold card. So it has to be in that exact order. Get the AMEX Gold card first and then get the AMEX Platinum card. So if you really want to start getting those business class or first class flights, you want to try to hit maybe 2 or 3 sign-up bonuses in a year, and then you'll be eligible to kind of have enough points to book these amazing flights. My word of advice here is to also go for Chase business cards because there is no language on how many sign-up bonuses you can get in a year. For example, you can get 4 Chase Ink cards in a year that would give you 360,000 points with the current sign-up offer. That is amazing. That will fuel a lot of free travel as well. And if you're unsure about what credit cards to get, well, you can look at my channel. I have all the sign-up bonuses that are readily available right now and all the cards that I recommend. Just go through my channel and you can see all the credit cards that have the highest sign-up bonuses and make sure to earn those points. You generally want to make sure you have around 200,000 to 300,000 points if you have 2 travelers. So find those sign-up bonuses, hit the minimum spend, earn those points, and you'll be ready for step number 2, which is actually finding those flights. Step number 2, finding the flights. So there's actually gonna be 2 scenarios here with 2 different outcomes. Scenario 1 is gonna be if you have really kind of broad travel plans. For example, if you have broad travel dates and you have a broad travel destination, this is gonna be scenario 1. For example, let's say I wanna travel sometime next year and I want to go anywhere from America to, let's say, anywhere in Japan. Scenario number 2 is going to be if you have really specific travel destinations. For example, next year, October 25th, I need to go from LAX to Tokyo. That's going to be scenario number 2. For scenario 1, you want to use the search tool seats.aero as they'll give you a broad range of which airlines provide those flights, which credit card companies transfer to those airlines, and step-by-step instructions on how to book those flights. That's pretty amazing. Now keep in mind that if you want to look further than 2 months in advance, you're actually going to have to upgrade to the Pro membership, which is going to cost you $9.99, but I think for $10, it's pretty worth it to find these travel destinations. For scenario number 2, you want to use pointsya.com, which is going to give you the pinpoint accurate dates specific to your travel destination and your travel time, and tells you basically the same thing: which airlines provide those flights, which credit card companies transfer to those airlines, and step-by-step instructions on how to book those flights. So let's go over some examples using these 2 methods. One's going to be a broad travel destination and one is going to be a very specific travel destination and date. Let's start with the broad destination. So we're gonna go with seats.aero here. Now, one of the coolest things about seats.aero is that you don't have to go from airport to airport in the search engine. You can go from country to country, meaning it'll give you the list of every single airport in the country compared to the list of every single airports in that country. Let me explain. So instead of putting LAX, LA to CDG Paris, you can literally just put America to Paris, and it'll give you all the airports that travel to each destination. So let's do exactly that. I'm gonna do America to Paris. I'm gonna put any departure date, any random departure date, and I'm gonna check that little checkbox that says add or subtract 14 days. So it gives me like a really broad range here. I'm gonna click enter, and it then gives me a list of all the airlines that go to that destination. Right now it says that Flying Blue has a business class flight for 71,500 points, which is a pretty good deal. So now we have to go to Flying Blue's website, create an account, and then we're gonna search for award availability through the Book Now button. So now let's just follow Seats.aero's exact instructions. It says that New York to Paris has some really cheap business class flights flying Air France. So let's do exactly that. So now you wanna go to Air France's website, sign in with your Flying Blue account, then click book with miles, go from New York to Paris, one-way business class. Don't put a departure date down because it gives you the entire calendar view. It's gonna save you a lot of time, and just click enter. After searching around all the weeks in the calendar, I actually managed to find this flight right here for only 50,000 points, not 71,500 points. So now Seats.aero tells me that Amex, Chase, and Capital One all transfer to Air France, and some of them even have a transfer bonus of up to 20%, so you can even book these for even cheaper than 50,000 points, depending on the credit card company that you have. So now you want to go to either your Amex portal, your Chase portal, or your Capital One portal, whatever credit card you have. You want to get your points and transfer it to Flying Blue in order to book this flight. And by the way, this exact flight would cost you anywhere from $3,000 all the way up to $3,300. So instead of paying $3,000 for a single flight, you could just simply pay 50,000 credit card points, which is a way better offer. I personally would never spend $3,000 on a single flight. I just think it is a complete waste of money, but 50,000 credit card points, I'll pay that any day. Now let's go for scenario 2, where we have a very specific travel destination. So let's just go to pointsya.com. You have to make a free account to search anything, so just make a free account and let's begin the search. So now we have to be very specific here with a specific airport destination and specific time frame. So let's just do everyone's favorite destination right now, LAX to Tokyo, and let's just say it's a year from now, November 7th, 2025. So we're just gonna type that in, and right now it says that Cathay Pacific has flights available with business class. Find Japan Airlines, because Japan Airlines is partners with Cathay Pacific, so we could book Japan Airlines flights through Cathay Pacific, which that's what we learned from pointsya.com. So now it also tells us that American Express, Citi, and Capital One transfer to Cathay Pacific. So you're gonna have to have a lot of points with either one of those credit card companies in order to transfer it over to Cathay Pacific. So now let's go to the actual website of Cathay Pacific and see if those flights really are available. So let's make an account with Cathay Pacific, press redeem flights, press your exact travel destinations. For now, we're gonna put, let's say like November 1st, 2025, and we're gonna go from LAX to Tokyo flying business class. We're just gonna click enter, and boom, I found these two flights for 89,000 points each, flying business class from LAX to Tokyo, meaning there are flights available for that specific date that we put into pointsya.com. Now these seats are actually worth $6,122 per flight. So instead of paying $6,122 per flight, we could just simply pay 89,000 credit card points, which is so much better than paying $6,000 for a flight. So by using these search tools, I now know that in my head, Air France is gonna be the options for if I wanna go to Paris, obviously, and Cathay Pacific is going to be a great option for when I want to go to Tokyo. So this is going to be how you kind of like get into the credit card kind of travel game. You kind of learn over time which airlines go to which destinations and which credit card points transfer to which airline. So to just summarize, use Seats.aero if you're really broad with your travel dates and your travel destinations. It's going to give you all the places that you can go from each airport from every state of America to every single city and state of different countries as well. Use pointsya.com to find very specific routes. Let's say you can't take off work until a specific week of next year, then Pointsya is going to be your option. So these are going to be both great options to find these flights, but like I said before, the hard part is really going to be earning these points, and you just really want to churn sign-up bonuses in order to get them. I recommend churning business cards because you can get like multiple sign-up bonuses in a single year. I mean, this year I think I got up to like 360,000 Chase points just by getting those Ink Preferred cards. So yeah, I'll make sure to put all the links down in the description of my video. They're gonna be all the cards that I recommend, and they're gonna be really great sign-up bonuses if you really wanna earn those points fast. So now let's get on to step 3, learning how to actually transfer out your points. Now from your credit card app, there's gonna be like a membership or rewards area, and that's where you wanna go to generally transfer out your points to the airlines. For example, in the AMEX portal, if you have either a gold or platinum card, you're gonna go to the membership tab, you're gonna click redeem rewards, and you're gonna go all the way down and find the transfer to partners button. From here, you'll find all the transfer partners that AMEX has, and this is basically like the same process for all the other credit card companies like Chase, Capital One, Citi. They all kind of have that rewards area. So just find that, and then you can kind of transfer out your points. Now to transfer out your points, you're generally gonna have to make an account with the airline. And then after you make an account, you kind of have a membership ID number with that airline. And that's where you kind of link it in this portal. For example, if you wanted to send 1,000 points to Delta, it's gonna ask you, what's your Delta ID? You put your Delta ID in there from the account that you made, and then it's gonna automatically kind of connect to your AMEX portal. And then now you can transfer that 1,000 points to Delta, for example. Now, a lot of the times you're gonna see really great transfer bonuses. For example, Virgin Atlantic, I think almost like every month has a transfer bonus. It's gonna be 1,000 AMEX points equals 1,300 Virgin Atlantic points, meaning you get a 30% boost on your points. And I think this is kind of like to entice users to basically book with Virgin Atlantic. It's basically like a marketing kind of technique. So over time, do your research and find out which airlines go to which areas in the world, and then you can really utilize these transfer bonuses and then really maximize your points. Also, another tip here is to make sure that the flight that you're looking for is specifically available on the date that you want to travel before you transfer out your partners, because it is a one-way street. Once you transfer those points to the airline partners, they are not coming back to your portal. It is just stuck at that airline. So once you've made sure that the flight exists on the date that you want to go, you can then transfer your points out, connect your account, transfer whatever points you need, and they usually populate instantly, so you can book it right away after you transfer out those points. So to summarize the whole thing, once again, you use the search tools to find the flights. You go on the exact website for each of the airlines, you find the flights on the airlines, see if they're available, and if they are available, then you can go to your credit card portal and then you can transfer out your points, and boom, that's how you do it. You just basically do that 3-step process, and you now know how to book business or first class flights. So let's just go over some more examples of some destinations that I've recently heard are pretty popular. I've heard a lot of my friends go to these destinations, so let's go over some more examples. I think a travel destination I'm hearing a lot these days is Taiwan. So let's do Taiwan as an example. So let's just say we're flexible with our dates. So let's use seats.arrow and type in USA to Taiwan. I'm just gonna type in any random date, anytime for next year, and let's see what it says. I'm gonna click enter, boom, it gives me all the list of airlines, all the credit card points needed, and which credit card companies transfer to those airlines. And I'm just gonna follow the instructions on seats.arrow. So I see a lot of Delta flights that I can fly out of from Seattle to Taipei. So I'm gonna go to delta.com, I'm gonna make an account, and I'm gonna look up the reward availability for Seattle to Taipei. And lo and behold, I found this flight for 110,000 points. If you have the Delta card like me, that is going to be 93,000 points for a really expensive Delta One business class flight from Seattle to Taipei. Now this exact same flight would cost you $5,400. So once again, this is going to be a great redemption. Now another example, what if we go to Rome? Let's go to Rome. I'm just gonna go to seats.arrow once again, USA to Rome, any random date that I want, add plus or minus 14 days, and let's see what it says. And boom, it shows here that business class are available with Virgin Atlantic flying from Miami to Rome for only 85,000 points with Virgin Atlantic. So that's gonna be pretty good. Let's check Virgin Atlantic's website. Now go to Virgin Atlantic's website. I type in Miami to Florida. Once again, I made that account. I'm gonna go to the redeem miles section, and I'm gonna put any like random date for next year. And boom, I found it. 85,000 points, Miami to Rome, one-way business class. Basically for every credit card company, they always have like a 30% transfer bonus. I think Citi right now and Chase have a 30% transfer bonus. So I don't need to send 85,000 points. I could just send like 65,000 points. And so I get a business class flight from Miami to Rome for only 65,000 credit card points. So yeah, it's that easy. It's just use the app and get the credit card points and send it over. So Yeah, let me know specific destinations that you want to go through, and I'll actually type in the comments. I'll just do the search myself and see like what are the best routes for your specific destination. If you want some extra help on it, this is a pretty small channel, so I have the time to kind of respond to each comment. For example, if you wanted to go to like LAX to Thailand, I'll try to find out the specific points needed and which airlines carry that flight. So yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me down in the comments below. I'd be more than happy to help you out with this process. And yeah, just let me know if you really need help with booking your specific flight. I hope you guys learned a lot from this video. I hope you book your next business class flight with credit card points solely. And I hope that you never really have to pay for your travel in general, and you can just stick to credit card points for the future. Thank you so much for watching to this point. I really do appreciate it. Please like and subscribe if you found this video helpful, and I will see you guys on the next one. Woo!